Hi, I'm Jeffrey Thomas. Welcome to another episode of my Crazy Aviation Journey. So, this time I'm bringing you the news that my book, Crazy Aviation Journey, is now available as a Kindle download, and there's a link below. You can download it. The book is 136 pages long. It's $11.99 Australian, and as I said, it's now available for a Kindle download. Now, let me just give you a bit of a snapshot of what this book is all about. So, if my life had a flight plan, it would be less direct route and more extended holding pattern with unexpected turbulence. My story isn't chronological, it's a collection of themes: aviation obsession, magnificent blunders, survival through chaos, and the occasional Labrador induced trauma. Aviation had me really early. One of my first loves was a Japanese tin toy aircraft, sharp enough to double as a kitchen utensil. And I had a childhood spent being whisked to the airport in blue pyjamas by my late uncle John Maskill, a Trans-Australian Airlines engineer who believed good engine inspection beat bedtime story every time. I couldn't agree more. So while other kids were watching cartoons, I climbed over Douglas DC-6Bs and Lockheed Electras, blissfully unaware that my life had already entered permanent flight mode. As a teenager, while the world was discovering dancing and dating and the Beatles, I was discovering airport fences and aircraft slides. My father sent me to Asia during Expo 70, hoping I'd toughen up and maybe see the seedier side of life and meet some interesting ladies. Instead, I visited every airport in the region and came home with 30 boxes of slides of aircraft. He asked me what I'd learned when I returned, and I said Hong Kong's Kai Tak Airport is sensational. He was horrified. My first aviation job took me to Port Hedland, swapping mum's gourmet cooking for bachelor quarters that resembled a crime scene after the criminals gave up cleaning. Two fridges held together by rust, dishes with their own weather systems and heat that could melt your ambitions. A desperate call for home the day I arrived for rescue was denied, so I stuck it out, negotiated a free room and board in exchange for cleaning, and somehow emerged with lifelong friends and possibly immunity from several biohazards. From there, my aviation adventures escalated. I once accidentally became a flight attendant on a Fokker F-28 jet full of miners, and that was due to fog, which prevented the aircraft landing to let us off and pick up some flight attendants and meals, and we got dispensation to crew the aircraft. My safety demonstration earned feedback like, "Oi, love, shave those legs." And catering on board consisted of only fruitcake and mini liquor bottles, the whiskey, brandy, scotch miniatures. The miners didn't complain, however. They adapted. Miners are good like that. Travel also taught me humility, especially at Los Angeles Airport, where on my September 11 birthday, yes, September 11, I was mistaken for a drug trafficker and marched into second inspection, a room full of men who looked like they had auditioned for Narcos. I was eventually cleared, but not before reconsidering every decision that led me to that moment. Nature didn't treat me kindly either. In the Olympic National Park, after warnings about bears and mountain lions, a dark shape charged at my wife Christine and myself. I screamed, leapt back into her arms, and prepared for death. It was, however, a very friendly black Labrador, and Christine and the girls running with that Labrador had a very good laugh at my expense. I even missed a flight on the Concorde because it clashed with my son's 5th birthday barbecue. Yes, I gave up Mach 2 for sausages and fairy bread. A colleague took my place. That colleague was Chris Manley from then the Sunday Times and later the Western Australian, and he forever became Concorde Chris. So I've slept on a Paris houseboat, that became a virtual floating nightclub. Nearly missed the Eurostar on our engagement. I cured my motion sickness by vomiting on a US Navy carrier and being revived by Phenergan and ephedrine. So if there's a theme to my life, it is dream big, laugh often, check your tickets twice, and always assume the charging shadow in the forest is just a Labrador, but scream anyway, just in case. So the book is a collection of about 40 or so stories that are both humorous and sad. For instance, the very sad demise of Ansett Airlines in Australia. I had a deep throat who would email me every week for several months, and there's copies of the emails in the book. On a different tact, I also saved Qantas advertising campaign, which was worth $10 million, by proving that they were the world's most experienced airline and also the longest continually operating airline, something that Qantas itself couldn't justify. So I would really love you to buy the book. The link is below, and I'm sure you'll really enjoy it. The feedback I've had on it has been great, which is very gratifying. But anyway, if you'd like to buy it, that'd be terrific. I'm Jeffrey Thomas, and thank you for listening.